We're going to Tennessee. We're going to the SEC. We're talking about Julian Phillips, who, you got to look it up and get multiple points of data to talk about him. On some sites, here's Tennessee's small forward. Here's Tennessee's forward. Here's Tennessee's center, Julian Phillips, who is 19 years of age, like 6'7", 6'8", probably a second-round pick. Some truly disgusting shooting numbers there, 24% from 3, 41% overall.
But 82% from the line.
Yeah, which is it's very confusing. A low usage player with not big defensive numbers. What is he? Like, where does he fit? Like, he constantly, in nearly every draft I look at, seems to, not everyone, because some of them don't even have him listed in their top 60, but most times he's going in the top 40 as a majority position in the draft. But is this one of these guys that plays in college and sort of plays out of position, but it doesn't really work that way in the NBA? Like, what is he as a player? Like, what is his calling card?
The calling card is his defense and his athletic talent. Tennessee was the number one defense in the country for a large portion of the year. I don't know if they finished right there, but they were right there the whole time. And he played big minutes for them, and that's what he did. They demand a lot of their players on the floor defensively. You need to communicate really well. You need to sort of be tireless. You need to be willing to switch. You need to be very physical. And he did all of that. So at the Combine, his athletic testing was excellent. One of the best athletes at the Combine, if not the very, very best. So if you compare to a guy like, the version of this player last year was Peyton Watson, who gets taken at the end of the first round by the Nuggets and, didn't really play for them, but got cups of coffee here or there, was very good in the G League, and looks like a guy, since he's still very young, that they'll be able to work into their system. Without going into too much of a comparison between the games of Julian and Peyton, the main difference is that Peyton's going to get to grow up playing off of Nikola Jokic, which not every, raw wing gets the privilege of doing. And so the other side of the coin with Tennessee, who's such a good defensive team, is that offensively, they're not very creative. It gets very ugly a lot, and the spacing wasn't very good. And so when Julian would attack, he would get some foul calls when he would elevate, because he just gets off the ground quicker than everyone else and he can hang in the air and absorb contact. But his handle was rough. He would lose track of it frequently. And the shooting wasn't good enough to make defenses respect him. So he is, that's why he is where he is. I wonder if he were in a more, symphonic college offense, if he'd be more of a consensus first round guy. But as it stands, I don't believe the deadline has passed for saying whether or not you're staying in the draft, unless
next week.
So I could see him going back and not staying in if he's not going to get a guaranteed deal. But I think that the athleticism is enough, and the free throws, again, in a limited role, I think he made, I looked this up right before we started, but he made 88 and his free throw rate was over 60, which means when he got the ball, he was aggressive and it was hard for guys to really absorb him. So you rely on that. You rely that he's going to be able to play NBA defense against good NBA players in time. And I could see someone taking him at the end of the first round, sticking him in the G League and trusting their developmental organization. It's just going to take patience, and you really just have to believe in the touch and say in 3 years, this guy's going to be able to shoot from the corners, and that's all we're going to need him to do.
He's an interesting prospect for sure. Like the athleticism, the defense is all good, but we do need that other stuff to come along. But that free throw is interesting. Like having that level of free throw shooting can be a good indicator. So there is something to work on there. Now, that brings us